Hey friends, welcome back to the vlog. Got home from Bellingham earlier this week. Life has been really hectic. So I wanted to take you along with me this weekend for a bit of a slow weekend. Getting back into the routine of things. Getting my groove back. Not quite like Stella. If you are a young person, you probably don't get the reference. So I'm gonna make a bunch of stuff. I have like slow weekend preferred to-do list. I'm gonna make some focaccia because I really want like a steak sandwich this weekend. I've been kind of like visualizing it in my brain with some roasted peppers, a little blue cheese, caramelized onions, big salad on the side. Sounds lush. I wanted to make some granola, so I'm gonna try out a new recipe that I found when we went to Big Sur. An edible Monterey was in the room, or in the cabin rather, and this granola sounded so yummy. It's a tahini berry granola. So we'll make that. Which I'm excited for. Looks good, sounds good. Yum, yum. I got a sourdough starter from my pastry chef, Jen. So we're gonna feed it. I'm hoping, cross fingers, next week can make some sourdough. I haven't made sourdough since the pandemic. My husband is like legit bread maker in our house, and he always is the one that makes like our sourdough or our white bread or whatever. But I'm wanting to do it, so I'm gonna try it out, see if I can keep the starter alive. Want to see it? It's great. It's huge. Jen gave me like 8 ounces, and it's like half this mason jar already from like the first feed, so I have to feed this again today, she said. And because we haven't had much luck keeping a starter alive, I'm falling back on doing some research, talking to people who do this more than I do, make sure that my starter doesn't die, because it's a lot of starter. I'm gonna make some chicken bone broth, which would be great, and maybe do like a light meal prep this weekend. I also need to get out in the garden. All of our poppies are over right now, and we have like a bunch of like California poppies just kind of all over our property. And so to get another flush of them, I need to cut them all back. And because they're very leggy and most of them have seed heads, cut them all back. They'll give them a water and then they'll flush again, which will be so lovely. We have some weeding to do, which is like our perennial project of like weeding our backyard. Our front yard is looking pretty good. I cut back the poppies earlier this week, and some of the achillea, and did a bit of weeding. Our front yard doesn't really need a lot of that right now, but our side yard, I need to do the side yard. The side yard needs to be weeded. Started that earlier this week, but I need to finish it up. I definitely need to water all of the flower containers and pots and like the bare root roses I planted and the dahlias and things. I'm literally staring right now at our lemon balm and our lemon verbena, and they look dead AF. And that needs some TLC. We're not actually doing much in our garden this year because we're planning to move our raised beds. So in terms of like growing edibles this year, like that was kind of just like off the table. So at some point we'll start getting after that and start the process of migrating the beds so we can actually do some things. But we, like everything is just kind of a bit of a mess out there. So I need to clean up my kitchen right now because we had leftovers for dinner last night, and so like dishes need to come out of our dishwasher, get put away, dishes need to go in the dishwasher. We went to Costco this morning, and so neither of us have had breakfast, so I need to make some breakfast, which I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna put you guys on a time lapse. I hope you enjoy like just a really chill, mellow cook and garden with me. this week. All right, let's go. Put on a sweater. It's a little while later. Just been hanging out, reading, kind of pottering about. Nothing too terribly interesting. Getting myself ready to do some focaccia. So I'm gonna be using this book, Flour, Water, Salt, and Yeast, to make some focaccia this afternoon. I need to make the poolish, so I'll link the book down below. I need to make a poolish that needs to sit overnight, and then once I have the poolish ready in the morning, then I can bake focaccia tomorrow afternoon. So I'm gonna do that. I need to feed the starter, so I'm gonna do that as well. And then I am gonna get started on some chicken meatballs. I use my favorite recipe for meatballs by far is like a recipe from the kitchen from like 2009. What is that? Almost a 20-year-old recipe. Someone did math for me. I don't know. Anyway, I've been using this recipe for yonks. I'll link it down in the description. It's great. It's super straightforward, pretty easy, and definitely not complicated. I use it every time. Sometimes I do it with pork, sometimes I do it with chicken, sometimes I do it with turkey, but chicken is by far my favorite. Pork and chicken are like by far my favorite animal protein to use for this. So I'm gonna make that with some red sauce for dinner. The bone broth is done, so letting that cool. I need to add a little bit more salt to it, strain it, let it do its thing. And then this afternoon, I need to run out to the grocery store. I don't have enough tahini, and then I wanted to pick up a couple of bits that we weren't able to get to at Costco from the grocery store. So I want to head out to TJ's. I want to make like an avocado crema from Rainbow Plant Life for this coming week's like fajitas and or tacos and or burritos. That'll be like one weeknight meal this week. I've decided also I'm going to attempt to make bagels tomorrow. So bagels, focaccia, and granola. It's very wholesome. I understand the premise of what I'm about to say. This is a very expensive spatula. I got it a couple of years ago from Williams-Sonoma. But literally, this is one of the best rubber spatulas I have ever owned. And I do not say that lightly. It has a great handle. It's very firm. The actual rubber part of the spatula, silicone, is very firm but pliable, and the glue hasn't separated from here. Like, I think when we bought this it was like 20 bucks. Like I said, it's a lot for, and that was like pre tariffs. Like I said, we bought this like, I don't know, maybe in 21, maybe 22, several years ago. But I've owned many rubber spatula. None have lasted this long, are in this good condition. Of course, I never put anything with a wooden handle or a knife in a dishwasher. Always hand wash these things. But one of the best purchases I've made for my kitchen in recent years.